we have a lot to cover today. There's a lot going on.
How far into Kirby do you have to put your penis before he can control you like a sock puppet?
Okay. So you had a couple days to come up with that one.
I just thought of it in 1 second.
What else? What else you got written on the cue cards?
There's nothing. Kirby Kirby has always been a vor freak, but I don't know how much vor you've seen. I've seen too much.
That's the correct answer.
The part that makes all the fucking weirdos like really, really beat off is the part where like Goliath is like frustrated looking and still has one arm out of Lexington's mouth. And Nintendo saw that and said, we want Kirby to have a power-up where he can't fit the whole thing inside himself.
Yeah, thanks. I hate it.
It's just too much.
No, listen. It's real simple. It's the animation that happens anytime he swallows something anyway, except they stop it before he does the swallow. The swallow is the part where it's satisfactory, and then he's cute again, and now he has the power. But they decided, let's just dial it back to the pre-keyframe of him about to swallow, and then what if he never does? And yes, now we get condom sleeve Kirby, and it's horrifying. It's horrifying.
It's awful.
It's really deeply upsetting is one way to describe it.
I've never seen a more universal reaction to anything than mouthful. Like the text comes on mouthful mode, and
Now,
and it's called mouthful mode.
Yeah. That is not even fuck whatever the Japanese title is. That is like American Treehouse approved translation, mind you. I am really kind of upset at it, but also not surprised in that something in this game somewhere was going to be horrifying. This is what we do. This is what Kirby is. Please understand. Uh-oh.
No, I'm just hitting buttons, man.
Okay. Is that your mood?
I'm just having fun.
Okay. Your mood went
mood
dark.
is I figured out my camera has buttons.
Okay. Well, that's not MP3 compatible. But here's what we can say.
That's why I didn't say anything.
Here's what we can say. The fact that, like, we already know previous Kirby games, recent entries especially, there's always some darkness in there. There's always something that leaves you going, huh, that's not very Poyo. And now...
Not really.
And now you're thinking, oh, it's probably going to be the fate of the dead world he's walking around in. But we've already done that. Kirby has been to dead worlds before. So now it's just no. The thought that he can stretch and sleeve himself around anything, and now you are forced to think about the mechanics of Kirby half swallowing anything. That's the horror. So leave it to this franchise and leave it to Kumazaki to come up with the next step in like deeply uncomfortable truths with this little cream puff. It's on brand.
It is so upsetting to hear the word sleeve as a verb.
Blame Mortal Shell.
Really?
Yeah. That's the thing now.
Really?
Mortal Shell, like, way more often than you would like and hope, does that game refer to the bodies that you switch into as sleeves. So then we just started going off on like, why do you keep saying sleeve, game? Please stop saying sleeve. And now we can't stop.
European?
Now everything is about sleeves.
My hoodie has sleeves. My arms go in them.
Yeah. I don't want... Look, there's a lot of Kirby merch out there. much of which I am happily, uh, buying and enjoying. I don't need a new line of half swallowed Kirby koozies and fit it over your head and or objects. Like, I just don't need it. I don't need that in my life. You know,
You
we've
know,
we've already seen the memes. It's just
yeah, I saw one that was Kirby all the way over Shinji crying in the chair,
certainly
and
there's the yeah, there's the one of the two guys sitting in the train car, one's looking at the scary side and smiling, and the other's looking at
yeah.
the sun and frowning, and half of the car is a pink line. Where it's like the implication is that Kirby has slightly digested all of it, you know.
Like,
Yeah, and if you really if you wanna take this to its logical conclusion, because this is what
yes.
you know, and I mean, look, I'm not gonna call myself a Kirby lore expert, but I know a thing or two. Um, there's stories that'll need to be told here. Consider, if you will, a living being that gets partially swallowed, but is now still forced to be controlled by Kirby. So head crabbing, if you would, or
Yeah.
the
100%.
parasect effect of latching onto something and then controlling it. You know, it is not you're getting swallowed and you're dying and your powers are passing on to the cream puff. It's no, you still have your body, but now your footsteps are no longer your own. Your brain is controlled, because if it works on tech, the implication is it can work on anything.
Like, you remember Mario would throw Cappy onto things, and Mario's soul would inhabit those things,
Precisely.
but he wouldn't like physically like crawl in their ass and pilot them. He would
Yeah.
just right here. It's like, what? How big's Kirby? Like a little bigger than a bowling ball?
You know, I mean, you look at him in Smash Brothers compared to the rest of the characters.
Right. Okay. So like, if Kirby were to like bite my hand and just not let go, do I just lose bodily autonomy instantly and become a puppet?
He decides, right? Like, here we thought the process was, once you are swallowed, you are now your powers are his and you're done. And then you can be spit back out as a star, right? He can create that inside of his stomach. But no, if he wants to, he can just start to swallow you, and the partial digestion is enough for you to be mind controlled.
See, I always felt like digestion was beside the point, that because of the like he can put an infinite amount of mass in his stomach. I always figured it was like a portal to like Dreamland or some shit, and that's why stars would come out, because he's attached to the cosmos.
There's a
But
void in there.
here it's like, if Kirby hops on your head and eats your head, and your head pops into space, does your head just explode? Is that why he can control your body?
I think it's about absorption, right?
Okay.
And by being partially swallowed, you're partially absorbed, enough for him to control you. By being fully swallowed, you're fully absorbed, and now he just uses what you've got.
I still can't believe the shot of like his horribly distended body with a car poking out,
Mm-hmm.
and the text mouthful mode coming up on the screen in this jaunty too. It like
And we've demonstrated, not only could Kirby just swallow and then become a motorcycle wheelie type character that can travel on his own without the need to partially swallow a car, he also has friends he can ride on who are happy to get him where he needs to go. So the vehicle, like, sleeve is just a flex.
like what, how do I put that? So I feel like either it's directly intentional, right? And like, no, it can, so my issue here, not my issue, but my curiosity here is that at some point this had to get past somebody
Yes.
who just looked at it and went,
Yes.
"Oh, cool, Kirby can't eat the whole thing,"
Yes.
and but like, it's Treehouse, right? Let's look at the Treehouse, right? The American branch. People
Sure.
there are probably 20 to 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
They're internet savvy. That
Mm-hmm.
hits your fucking desk. Translate this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'm
right.
I'm I
And then
think
they come up with fucking mouthful mode.
yeah, no. Like I said, I think this isn't definitely intentional. Knowing Kumazaki and the way he's played it in the recent years with these games, it's like there is an understanding that hey, you know what's cute when he's full of water and he's going blah 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 blah, right?
Yeah.
And like even walking around as a vending machine spitting out cans, that's kind of cute. But
Yeah,
it's right? But the four wheels of the car sticking out the bottom of his mouth is not cute at all. There's nothing cute about that.
That's the one that they used to like show off, like
And exactly, and you see him driving into the city in the title shot for the fucking game. So there's an understanding that like overall we're still showing you the cute Kirby thing, but every once in a while some of these mouthful mode powers are gonna be awful. Like it's a deliberate thing. Go look at the dude's fucking art, man. He draws cute, horrifying shapes. Evil, gross things that have like small, super deformed proportions that are kind of adorable while they're horrifying.
So I just pulled up the trailer just to check, and I had like legitimately 100% forgotten that it's called mouthful mode.
Yeah.
But specific transformation has its own name, and they are named car mouth, vending mouth, cone mouth, scissor lift mouth, ring mouth, arch mouth, water balloon mouth. like
Yeah.
Also, yeah, the distinction between vending mouth, where it's entirely contained and he's just like, oh, I'm a silly shape, bloop bloop, here's a can of soda, and like the car wheels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So of course, seeing the we have not yet begun to see the depth of the memes on this, and it's kind of interesting how the mere implication of Kirby with the ring mouth and then just the JPEG of goatsy hands on the sides, just mental damage instantly.
It caused
Darkest Dungeon stress check failed.
I was
instantly
scrolling down the subreddit, and there was somebody who posted that on there, and like I had like it's not a double take, but it's the wide-eyed like head shake. I'm like, what? What? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's Kirby. Yeah. Okay, It's Kirby.
Absolute frenzy. Yeah. Anyway, we there's a lot to talk about, and we gotta get a move on because
what we do know with absolute certainty that Kirby would be able to fit a whole jar inside without it breaking.
Unless he wants it to break.
Unless
the goal, you see, because I think some people might misunderstand that sometimes the goal is for the jar to break. That's not an accident. It's intended.
Historically, that's never been the goal. Historically,
there are dueling narratives about possibly that the jar break might be intentional sometimes.
I don't believe that.
There's a lot of things I don't want to believe. That doesn't make them not true. Look.
I think Ringmouth might be in the running for like one of the worst ones, because you can actually see into Kirby, and the inside of Kirby doesn't make any fucking sense.
What would you have done if we started out and I was just like, nah, man, it's awesome, we love it, we stan our mouthful king?
See, the problem with that is that I was browsing TikTok the other day, and your TikTok came up, and the only clip that has come up of yours in like 2 weeks is you just staring at mouthful mode, and just go, oh no.
Okay, fair enough.
So I knew already.
Fair enough. Okay.